All right, family, it's 4:52. It is Tuesday afternoon, and so we're doing our Trust in God class. If you don't know where we are in Genesis, and so Abraham has sent his servant to go look for a wife for Isaac. This story was really so good, we had to do 3 lessons off of it. This is going to be the third one and the last one, and then we'll get moving forward on this series. But today we're going to talk about just the reality of. I think that it's important that there are two very descriptive meetings of, I would say, the Lord, and then also when Abraham was sending his servant out to seek this woman, but he was seeking her, but he said the right woman was going to love him correctly. She was going to give him water and also give her camels water. And so it was really an evaluation of the heart in that situation. But there are two serious evaluations of the heart when it came to women in the Bible. And they're at a well. And I don't even generally talk about per se genders and things like that, because I truly believe that once you get in, you start to understand how everything can be androgynous. But just the thing is that you can't be in androgynous being a person of wholeness in your life if you don't win the battle of your flesh. And the reality is the battle of the woman's flesh and the man's flesh are totally different. But after you defeat those, there is a wholeness that we can meet each other in the middle at, and we are complete in a sense. And that's what Jesus literally says, is that when we arise, we will neither be given in marriage nor married. But in that regard, we're like the angels. And so he's literally saying, like, we're not going to have sex organs, we're not going to be able to marry, we're not going to be able to have sex, like we're going to be like the angels. And so you have to understand that that is the goal, really, to get into your life, is to get androgynous vision in your life. But you can't find that vision. You can't get to that in this world unless you battle and win your flesh. And when Adam and Eve were cursed, this is just flat out in this Bible. If you really understand, it's so flat out that the battle of the flesh of the woman, the battle of the flesh of the man, have two different battles. It's really two different battles, and it's two because they have two different roles. So of course, we're gonna have two different battles. And so we're gonna talk about these battles today, in reality of the woman, but also just how the Lord can meet a broken woman and make her whole, and what that transformation really looks like for real. And so we're getting to that, and then we will be done with that today. So Genesis 24:16-21 says, the girl was very beautiful, a virgin, and no man had relations with her. And she went down to the spring and filled her jar and came up. Then the servant ran to meet her and said, please let me drink a little water from your jar. She said, drink, my lord. And she quickly lowered her jar to her hand and gave him a drink. Now when she had finished giving him a drink, she said, I will draw also for your camels until they have finished drinking. So she quickly emptied her jar into trough and ran back to the well to draw, and she drew for all his camels. Meanwhile, the man was gazing at her in silence to know whether the Lord had made his journey successful or not. And so in this situation, literally, like I said, he sent his servant out to go and find a wife for his son Isaac. And when he's going to find his wife for his son Isaac, his method was, okay, I'm going to be at a well, I'm gonna have my camels there, and the woman that shows me the right hospitality when I ask her to give me a drink, the woman that fills up my cup and gives me water and feeds my camels, that's going to be the one. And so he was really evaluating just the heart and the love of this woman. And that's a lesson that we did. I believe the last one was about just hospitality. But he was evaluating the heart and trying to see her hospitality and love, right? But the reality is that most of us, not most of us, I'm gonna say the overwhelming majority of us, when we truly meet the Lord, this isn't us. And right now I'm talking for women. I'm sorry, I'm saying us. Okay, today I'm a woman. Okay, most of us. I'm not gonna say you. I'm not pointing you out, but I'm just telling you the truth is that most women, when they meet the Lord, it's not like this. When you truly meet him, when it's truly time for your calling, when he truly comes into your life and says, hey, I want you to know me. I want you to walk with me. I want you to come and leave your life behind and come fulfill your purpose. You're not like this. You're not a beautiful, I'm not gonna say beautiful, but you're not a virgin. You're not someone that no one has had relations with. You're not someone who's over hospitable, and you're not someone who is all loving. But that's what the next woman is for. We're gonna talk about. We're gonna move over to John 4. So in John 4:15-19, it says, the woman said to him, So in this situation, this is the same situation, but it's Jesus Christ at a well talking to a woman. And so now when he meets this woman, this is more like a real what you meet in real life right now. Like literally, when you go around, this is what the women. Women when they grow up, this is what their lives end up looking like right here. So it says the woman said to him, this is a grown woman meeting Jesus, a grown woman who's never had the Lord in her life, a grown woman who's never walked with the Lord, a grown woman who just is finding out what true life is. Let's listen in on this real quick. So John 4:15-19 says, the woman said to him, sir, give me this water so I will not be thirsty nor come all the way here to draw. He said to her, go, call your husband and come here. The woman answered and said, I have no husband. Jesus said to her, you have correctly said, I have no husband, for you have had 5 husbands, and the one whom you now have is not your husband. This you have said truly. The woman said to him, sir, I perceive that you are a prophet. And so literally, in this situation, you have to understand this woman at this well, the parable of the situation was that this woman keeps coming back to this temporary well. She's coming back to these temporary things, trying to find satisfaction. And Jesus Christ is like, if you drink from this water, you'll thirst again. But if you drink from my water, you'll never thirst again. But then this is actually the water that he gives her. That becomes a bubbling spring. Because when you start thinking about this for yourself, I promise you, you're never going to stop thinking about it for real. You're never going to forget about these words and what he said to you. You coming to him as a woman and saying, I've never had a husband. And then him saying to you, you have correctly said, I have no husband, for you have had 5 husbands, and the one you have now is not your husband. And now, listen, and this is the thing is that some of y'all are seeing him say to her, you've had 5 husbands, and the one you have now not your own. And you're like, well, she wasn't that bad off. Because some of y'all can look at this and say, wow, I think I've had about 8 husbands. Wow, I don't even think that. I think that I've dealt with 12 men. I don't think he would say I was really giving my heart. I was really a husband. Any of them were really my husband ever, really. If they were all just fornicating situations, I didn't even love them. What would he say to you at the well? And so the reality, though, is that not most people, all people, when they meet Jesus in this situation, you're coming to a realization of what you have done in your life. That you're literally saying that, no, I've had no husband, and you're not claiming any husband. And he's literally saying to you, as God, the voice of God is telling you that, no, you're right. You say you've had no husband. You've had 5 husbands, and the one you have now is not your husband. That's a reality check in your life. To think that, oh, I haven't had a real, we haven't signed a real paperwork. We didn't have a ring. So there wasn't really my husband. But then your heart's torn to pieces inside. And you have no idea what you're doing with your life. You're going from man to man to man, tearing man to man to man into pieces and losing pieces of yourself throughout the way. And so most of us, all of us, because I promise you, there's not one person walking this earth that has not met Jesus Christ, that does not have the understanding of sex being a consummation of marriage. Then you start understanding what you've done in your life. And so here we are, and now so we're this woman, and our lives have been completely exposed, but he's telling the truth. It's like, bro, you're telling the truth right now. Like, I know I've said I've had no husband, but wow, in my heart, I really feel like I truly gave my all to these 5 people. I truly feel like if those people would have loved me back for the rest of my life, I would have loved them back for the rest of their life. I would have stayed with those people. Yes, I've never walked down the aisle. I've never said I do. I've never had a ring. I've never signed no paperwork, but my heart has. You've certainly told the truth. And so she says, sir, I perceive that you're a prophet. She's like, wow, you just told me my whole life, right? And so now we're exposed. And this is what should happen, though. You should meet the Lord and start realizing what you've done in your life. So now let's realize, as this woman, what she's done in her life now. Let's realize it. Because the thing is that the reality is, I'm trying to tell you, like, as a woman, as a man and as a woman, we all have darkness that we have to be transformed from. And if you're acting like there's no darkness to be transformed from inside you, you are a liar. It says it in literally 1 John. If it says that we are without sin, then we are liars. You're a liar. You are a liar if you don't believe there's nothing to be transformed from, whoever you are. It doesn't matter who you are. And so Let's talk about this transformation for women and what that really looks like, a woman completely submerged in darkness. So who this woman truly was before she saw the light. Because before you see light, you're submerged in darkness. Let's be real with ourselves. Before you come to the light of Christ, before you meet Christ, you're submerged in darkness. You've never seen light before in your life. You don't know the truth. You're just doing. You're just doing, which is obviously what she's been doing. And so now let's read the reality of what that path was that she was on. Proverbs 2:16-19 says, to deliver you from the strange woman, from the adulteress who flatters with her words, that leaves the companion of her youth and forgets the covenant of her God. For her house sinks down to death, and her tracks lead to the dead. None who go to her return again, nor they reach the paths of life. And so this woman was just told that you said that right. You've had a husband. You've had 5 husbands. And the one you're with now is not your husband. And so literally, she is this track that leads to death. She has been this track that leads to death. Her house has been the one that sinks down to death, and her tracks lead to death. None who go to her return again, nor they reach the paths of life. She was the one who flatters with her words, that leaves the companion of her youth. She's had 5 husbands. That leaves the companion of her youth and forgets the covenant of her God, who really doesn't even. So this is things that I promise you, every last person who has had sex in their life had a conscience about losing their virginity. Why did you have that conscience? Because you knew what you were doing at heart. You knew that it was deeper. You knew that it was deeper than that. But now you begin to lie to yourself and say, you know what? It's not that deep. So you've forgotten the covenant of your God. But you know what it really is. You know what it really is. But so she was this woman that her house sunk down to death. Her tracks led to the dead, and none to her return again, nor they reach out to the paths of life. Proverbs 5:3-5, I got more for you. For the lips of an adulteress drip honey, and smooth and oil is her speech. But in the end, she is bitter as wormwood, sharp as two-edged sword. Her feet go down to death. Her steps take hold of Sheol. And so I'm trying to tell you the truth is that if you are a woman and you are not in-depthly reading and in this and understanding what this is saying about this adulterous woman, you don't want to know the truth to be transformed from in your life. Because every last person has a repentance to come from in their life. And the reality is we're all adulterous. Like literally the man's adulterous against God and the woman's adulterous against man. That's literally the line and rule and what the enemy wants you to be, because that's literally the lineup that God's created for us. He said God's the head of Christ, Christ the head of man, and man the head of woman. So what does the enemy want you to do? He wants the man to rebel against Christ. And he wants the woman to rebel against man. So they're all adulterous. And so you have to understand, though, if you don't understand the transformation needs to be made as a woman, you're lying to yourself. For the lips of adulteress drip honey and smooth and oil is her speech. How many, and most of us were trained. We're trained to put forth ourselves, put forth an image, a deceitful image of who we are. You're trained to be adulterous in this world. Trained. This is something that we all have to come out of, men towards God, women towards men. And so right now we're on the women. So let's get to it. And then I'm trying to tell you this. Here's the thing that women really don't understand the blessing they have, because the Bible is very upfront. Very upfront about the wicked path of the woman and the righteous path of the woman. Very upfront for you, like right black and white for you, day is night. Now, men, it's a whole bunch of reading, a whole bunch of understanding, really feel like, because what you don't even understand is men, he tells men it's best not to marry, because you're supposed to marry yourself to God. So I'm trying to tell you the truth. Actually, women end up receiving the truth and understanding the truth further in their life before men do, because men don't understand their relationship they're supposed to have with God. But women are blessed to have these scriptures, but they don't see that, and you don't understand it. Is that he's literally telling you up front who you should be staying away from being in your life. This is the wrong person to be. Proverbs 5:6-9 says, she does not ponder the path of life. Her ways are unstable, and she does not know it. Now then, my sons, listen to me and do not depart from the words of my mouth. Keep your way far from her and do not go near the door of her house, or you will give your vigor to others and your years to the cruel one. And so you understand that literally is literally saying that She does not ponder the path of life. She has no care for the path of life. She has no care for the pursuit of peace. She has no care for the pursuit of righteousness. She's never thought about what's the right way to live life. She doesn't care. Her ways are unstable. She's unstable. And some of y'all men are around these women in your life, and you're just patting her back and saying, oh, it's okay, baby. It's okay, baby. And enabling the unstableness. But she knows why she's unstable. She knows in her heart what she's doing and what she's been doing and why she feels that way. It's an adulterous mindset that brings upon this. Her ways are unstable. She does not know it. And I'm going to say this is that, I'm going to say this. She knows what she's doing. She knows why she feels the way she feels inside. But she's so blind. She's so blind to the destruction that she does in the path that she is hurting in her life. She's blind to that. And that is, so people understand that is like some of the worst thing to deal with in your life. Someone who is unstable in their ways. Who is unstable, like here, they're destructive, and they don't even realize it. They have no idea how destructive they are. And this is the thing about this woman is that this is why you have to be educated on what it means to be the wrong type of woman, though. Because if you don't know what's like to be the wrong type of woman, it's very easy to fall yourself into being the wrong type of woman. Because this woman does things and she doesn't know what she's doing. Now, she knows how wicked her stuff, but she has no idea the results of what she's doing. She has no idea that, what did it say in the last one? That, no, what did it say in the Proverbs 2? It says, she has no idea that her house sinks down to death and her tracks lead to the dead. She has no idea. She has no idea. She has no idea that who she is and who she's been in life is doing nothing but creating death around her. She has no idea. But this is why it's important to study and know what it is to be the wrong type of, the wicked woman. Because the wickedness is true. There is darkness in this world. Whether you like it or not, you say, oh, well, some people are just like that, some people are like this. No, there's darkness and there's light. And so you understand that this is what it's like to be darkness in this world. But if you can't admit and confess to the past, your past life of this, you can't ever be made new. There's not one person that has not been here. There's not one woman that has not been these words. And if you're saying it's not you, you a liar. It literally says in, what was it? I think it's Proverbs 24, maybe. It says that, this is the way of an adulterous woman. She eats and wipes her mouth and says, I have done no wrong. An adulterous woman is literally a woman that does all these things as this type of person. And guess what? She also blames every last person in her life for everything. She literally has no accountability at all. She doesn't. She sees the death all around her and all the men dying from her past, and she has no accountability. She has no accountability. She just decides that, you know what? No, it's them. Well, you got a track of five people behind you that are dying. They have been worse off from being around you, and you don't understand that you are the household. Women are the nail in the tent. Men come into their tent. Men come into their tent. Women hold down the household. And that's the thing they don't understand. That's why it says, do not go near the door of her house, or you will give your vigor to others and your years to the cruel one. The man is the lead of the house, but the woman is the nail to the tent. She holds the house down. And so you understand what's produced from your house is what's going on. You're the one who holds the house down. The man is the leader. You listen to him and you hold the house down. And so you have to take personally the product of your household as a woman. Proverbs 7:4-6 says, say to wisdom, you are my sister, and call understanding your intimate friend, that they may keep you from an adulteress, from the foreigner who flatters with her words. For at the window of my house I looked out through my lattice. And so literally, this is something you have to take these notes. Take these notes. An adulterous woman flatters with her words. She's fixing her lips just to satisfy your ears. She just wants to sound like the right person for you. She's not really being herself. She's not really being genuine in who she is. She's presenting somebody that's totally wrong. Like she's presenting somebody her best guess of what you would love. That's an adulterous woman. Let's keep going. Proverbs 7:7-9 says, and I saw among the naive and discern among the youths a young man lacking sense. passing through the street near her corner. And he takes the way to her house in the twilight, in the evening, in the middle of the night, and in the darkness. And so you understand that. What is the way of an adulterous woman? That there's men, literally, men are coming and going. In the twilight, in the evening, in the middle of the night, and in the darkness. In the twilight, in the evening, in the middle of the night, and in the darkness. Her moves are made with men in the night. She don't want to be seen in the daytime with the men in her life. She don't want to, there's no, that's the thing is that she's very free. Acts like, oh, I'm so free. I'm all these other things, like, and I'm at peace and I have joy and I'm so free. But then she can't be seen around. She does no dealings with men in the day, in broad daylight. Everything she does with men is in shame at night. This is the way of an adulterous woman. Let's keep going real quick. Proverbs 7:10-12 says, and behold, a woman comes to meet him, dressed as a harlot and cunning of heart. She is boisterous and rebellious. Her feet do not remain at home. She is now in the streets, now in the squares, and lurks by every corner. And so behold, a woman comes to meet him, dressed as a harlot and cunning of heart. So literally, what does this woman do? She's dressed promiscuously. She's trying to literally play on your sexual desire nature. She's trying to arouse you with her appearance. And cunning of heart. So like I just said a second ago, it says her words are smooth as honey. That she's a woman that tries to win you over with her words, but she's not really being herself. She's just trying to, she's not really being herself. She's trying to be the right person that you think that you like. It says she is boisterous and rebellious. She's boisterous and rebellious. I want you to understand this, that like literally she runs away from rules. She's rebellious. She's rebellious. And some of y'all think that that's so cute in life. She's rebellious. No, that's not cute. That's not cute. And then it says her feet do not remain at home. So listen, she's somebody that she don't want to be at home. She's everywhere but at home. And you know these women who can never stay at home. They're at this club. They're there. They're that. They're at this party. They're at this person's house. Her feet are running around the town. She is now in the streets, now in the squares, and lurks by every corner. She's looking everywhere for a man. She's looking everywhere for a man. This is the way of an adulterous woman. And actually, let me go back up. It says she is boisterous. And so it says the definition of boisterous is noisy, energetic, cheerful, rowdy. She is boisterous. Some of y'all think that's cute. She's boisterous. That is literally a signal for you of an adulterous woman who's going to tear your life apart. And that's also you have to understand, as a woman, if that is you hear these things and you make a change, bro. It's not about condemnation. It's not about that no one's telling you that, oh, you're just this terrible person for the rest of your life. No, you have to point out the darkness so you can become light in your life. And so that's what we're doing today, is point out the darkness of the adulterous woman. So Proverbs 7:13-15 says, so she seizes him and kisses him, and with a brazen face she says to him, I was due to offer peace offerings. Today I have paid my vows. Therefore I have come out to meet you to seek your presence earnestly, and I have found you. And so she sees him and kisses him with a brazen face. She says to him, I was due to offer peace offerings. Today I have paid my vows. Therefore I come out to meet you to seek your presence earnestly, and I have found you. And so so this is what it says. Brazen means bold and without shame. And so she sees him and kisses him, and with the brazen face, so bold and without shame, she says to him, I was due to offer peace offerings. Today I have paid my vows. Therefore I've come out to meet you to seek your presence earnestly, and I have found you. So she's talking about all this good that she's supposed to do in her life. And she said she's paid her vows today. She's just flattering with words. She's flattering with words. And then she says that she's come to seek your presence earnestly, and I have found you. But it's the thing you have to understand. You have to take people's words for true and honesty and what it is. Is that she's saying that she has her mind on these peace offerings and these vows and stuff like that. But no, her whole heart and her whole mind was on chasing men the whole time. It was on chasing you. And so then here we go right here. Proverbs 7:16-19. I have spread my couch with coverings And so here she is, she's talking. I have spread my couch with coverings, with colored linens of Egypt. I have sprinkled my bed with myrrh and aloes and cinnamon. And come, let us drink our fill of love until the morning. Let us delight ourselves with caresses, for my husband is not at home. He has gone on a long journey. This is the way of an adulterous woman. She's literally saying, she meets this man on the street and says, listen, I have everything already made up at home. My bed is already made. I have the fine linens on there. I've sprayed the perfumes and the scents on the bed. It smells good. I have the oils and the lotions lined up for you. Let us drink of our love. Let us indulge in passion all night into the morning. Let us delight ourselves with caresses. I'm trying to tell you the truth. If this is someone's intention in your life, it's not pure. If a woman is coming to a man and she is talking to you like this, men, it's not pure. It's not good for you. Women, if you're talking to men like this, it's not pure. It's not good for you. For my husband is not at home. He has gone on a long journey. So literally, he's literally saying that this is an absence of her husband, and she behaves in this way. Proverbs 7:20-23 says, he has taken a bag of money with him. At the full moon, he will come home. So she knows he's going to come, so she's plotting while he's away. With her many persuasions, she entices him. So she entices him. The adulterous woman is seeking to entice men into her home. She's not going and trying to find a marriage. She's not going to try to build a life and have a relationship, a fellowship relationship with her. No, she's enticing him into her home. With her flattering lips, she seduces him. So, like, literally, it's the things that the women of virtue understand, that they are to be swept off their feet. Adulterous women are going and they're looking to sweep men off their feet. But why is that? Because they want them for themselves. They don't want that man to be the God either. These women hate men of God because they want the man to serve their desires, not God. And so, but with her flattering lips, she seduces him. Suddenly he follows her as an ox goes to the slaughter, or as one in fetters to the discipline of a fool, until an arrow pierces through his liver. As a bird hastens to the snare, so he does not know it will cost him his life. Women don't understand what they're doing, and they're costing men their life. They don't understand they're killing their own lives. It literally says that he is like an ox goes to the slaughter. The bed and home, the place of an adulterous woman is the place of a slaughter for men. Women, you are slaughtering men in your adultery. In your adulterous mindset, the harlot mindset, the promiscuous mindset, you're killing people and yourself. Proverbs 7:24-27 says, now therefore, my son, listen to me and pay attention to the words of my mouth. Do not let your heart turn aside to her ways. Do not stray into her paths. For many are the victims she has cast down, and numerous are all her slain. Her house is the way to Sheol, descending to the chambers of death. Sheol is hell. And so you understand that literally he's saying that, bro, when you follow this woman, do not turn to her ways. These women seek to get you to follow their ways. They seek to get you to be like them and follow us. Come be this type of person with me. You are not called to follow any woman. You're called to follow God. And women, men are not called to follow you. They're called to follow God. And women, you have to understand with this adulterous mindset, this harlot mindset, this giving this promiscuous, this sensual, this coming to my home, this in and out the door, men in and out the door mindset. You are killing men. Not only are you being used to kill men, you're killing yourself. You're not even killing yourself. You're already dead with this mindset. And the enemy is really just using you to slay men in and out of your door. But this is why it's important to wake up. Because any last person can be made new. When you meet Jesus Christ and he talks to you like this and he lets you know what you've done, then you have the option to wake up. You have the option to change your life. You have the option to no longer be blind to what you have done in your life. When he literally tells her, she says, I have had no husband. And he says back to her, you have said correctly, I have had no husband. For you have had 5 husbands. And the one you have now is not your husband. And so you have to understand that in this situation, She was the adulterous woman whose house led to the pit of death, whose house led to Sheol, who was spreading her coverings and spraying her linens with perfumes and trying to get people to corral with her to the morning. This was her. But then Jesus comes and tells her the truth. He doesn't condemn her. He just tells her what she's done in her life. But now that you know the truth, now that you know, even though you have not ever been physically paperwork married, now that you know that, are you going to continue down the same path? Because he's telling you you have married yourself. So are you going to continue to do the same thing? Or are you going to make a change and repent? This is the repentance that he's calling for. So at first you was that woman, that adulterous woman, that woman that was dragging men to death. But now this is who he's calling you to be. An excellent wife who can find. For her worth is far above jewels. The heart of her husband trusts in her, and he will have no lack of gain. She does him good and not evil all the days of her life. And so literally, it says an ex-wife who can find. Understand that this is rare. Not all those women that love to quote and say Proverbs 31 and say that the Lord says that he who finds a wife finds a good thing. Well, listen, are you an excellent wife? Are you a wife? That's a good question. Are you a wife? Or are you an adulterous woman or a harlot? Because this is an excellent wife right here. An excellent wife who can find. And this thing people don't understand is like, women are like, Proverbs 31, we can be more. Bro, you literally have a whole chapter of the Bible where God is telling you what it means to be a righteous woman. There is no upfront chapter in the Bible where it just says how to be a righteous husband, an excellent husband, or how to be. There isn't that. You have to search and find as a man to figure out what to be in this world. You have a flat out right in front of you chapter telling you what it looks like. Heed to it. He gave you a cheat code to life. Heed to it. And this is what we have to understand is that it is not possible to be this Proverbs 31 woman unless the Lord is leading you in your life. It's not possible to be this woman in darkness. It's not possible. And so this is a woman transformed from darkness to light. From darkness to light. This is a woman who's been made new. So it says an excellent wife who can find her. She's rare. For her worth is far above jewels. The heart of her husband trusts in her. And so it doesn't say that her husband follows her ways. It says her husband trusts in her. But do you know why he trusts in her? Because the excellent wife has an excellent husband, a man of God. And that excellent wife has submitted herself to her husband, who has submitted himself to God. And so just as what he received from God, he trusts her because she listens and she listens to what he's listening to from God. Just as his guidance is, her guidance is, so he trusts her. And he will have no lack of gain. She does him good and not evil all the days of her life. Her life is filled with doing. Her life is filled. Hold on, give me a second, guys. Sorry, guys. So listen, she does him good all the days of her life. And so you understand that like her objective in her life is to do good to him. That's selfless. But the thing is a selfish woman has no mindset at all that her job in this man's life is to do good to him. She doesn't even, a selfish, adulterous woman doesn't even have the mindset of, am I doing good or bad to him? No, you're just thinking about what you're receiving in your own desires. But the righteous woman, the excellent wife, that the woman who's made new by God does good to him. Which is her mindset to do good to him. Proverbs 31, 13 and 15 says she looks for wool and flax and works with her hands in delight. And so this is the thing, is y'all read the Bible, y'all think that God wants a woman that sits at home and does nothing and just twiddles her thumbs. No, she looks for wool and flax and works with her hands in delight. She is a producer. She's a creator. She works with her hands. She's not this woman just sits in the house and pops out children and that's it. No, she works with her hands. She brings her food. That's the thing, is that the adulterous women just want a man to take care of them and pay for them. That's not the woman of the Bible. The righteous, excellent wife of the Bible is not looking for a man to take care of her. She knows how to handle business. She brings her food from afar. She rises also while it's still night and gives food to her household and portions to her maidens. She takes care of everyone. Her hospitality is through the roof. Her hospitality is through the roof. She considers a field and buys it from her earnings, and she plants a vineyard. She girds herself with strength and makes her arms strong. So listen, she considers a field and buys it from her earnings. She plants a vineyard. She's an investor. She literally sees she has money. Like I said, y'all don't understand that the righteous woman, is the nail to the tent. Y'all think that a man is supposed to be, this is what a man is supposed to be doing. This is what a woman's supposed to be doing for their family. She considers a field and buys it from her earnings, and she plants a vineyard. She's an investor. She girds herself with strength and makes her arms strong. She's not weak, she's strong. She senses that her gain is good. Her senses tell her that her senses tell her that her gain is good. That like literally her life, she's literally gaining good in her life. That nothing is coming to her but good. That's what her senses tell her. Her lamp does not go out at night. So she's always ready and prepared to take care. She's always ready to give love. She's always ready with her hospitality. She's always ready to be a light to whoever needs it. Proverbs 31, 19, 21. She stretches out her hand to the distaff, and her hands grasp the spindle. She extends her hands to the poor, and she stretches out her hands to the needy. She is not afraid of the snow for her household, for all her household are clothed in scarlet. And she understands that, like, she stretches out her hands to the distaff, her hands grasp the spindle, and she extends her hand to the poor. She understands that this is a giving woman. She's a hospitality woman. Her hands grasp the spindle. She's a woman that goes to work. She extends her hands to the poor. She takes care, like I said, a giving woman. She does for those in need. And she is not afraid of the snow for her household. For all her household are clothed with scarlet. Her household is well prepared for life. She's not fearing what's going to come in life. She's not fearing snowfall. She's not fearing no rainfall, no storm. She's not fearing overheat. She's not fearing what life is going to do to her household. She has clothed her household. She's covered her household in truth and love. She has covered them. She's not worried. She makes her coverings for herself. Her clothing is fine linen and purple. Her husband. So listen, she makes her coverings for herself. Her clothing is fine linen and purple. So obviously that not every woman is going to be able to make her own clothes, but she understands that she's a producer for herself. I would say this is that she provides for herself. She provides for herself. She's not this weak, dependent woman that if she don't have a man, she can't be taken care of. No, if her man has to go away on business for a week, it's not even a conversation. Of course I'm holding the house down. Her husband is known in the gates, and when he sits among the elders of the land, she makes linen garments and sells them and supplies belts to the tradesmen. So this thing is this honorable woman also is a woman that has a man that's lifted up and well known and known as someone that does good. She makes linen garments and sells them and supplies belts to the tradesmen. So literally she makes money in her hobby. She's making money in her hobby. Like she literally is producing, and she's like producing for his house, and she's the nail to this tent. She supplies belts to the tradesmen. She's a supplier. Proverbs 31:20. So some of y'all, it's not, you can't make clothes, you can't make belts, but you can cook. Maybe you can go and help somebody and you can help somebody and help them with the laundry. You can help them clean up. You're just you have this hospitality about you. Strength and dignity are her clothing. She smiles the future, and she opens her mouth in wisdom. And the teaching of kindness is on her tongue. That's my favorite from this whole chapter. Strength and dignity are her clothing. When people look at her, they see strength and dignity. It's strength and dignity that she puts in front of people as her clothing. Not fig leaves and things of the world, not money, not all these physical things of the world. She said, no, strength and dignity are what you're going to see when you look at me. And she smiles at the future. So she has no fear of the future. She smiles at it. She says, you know what? Lord, what you going to give me, I know it's going to be good. She opens her mouth in wisdom. So when she opens her mouth, wisdom comes out of her mouth. How rare is that? How rare is that when she opens her mouth in wisdom and the teaching of kindness is on her tongue. When she talks, she's wise and her wisdom is rooted in kindness. This is a woman that's been transformed from darkness to light. And I don't care who's listening to this right now. I know you. If you're a woman, you've been sitting around in gossip circles, and you know the women that all they have to say out of their mouth is nothing but steal, kill, and destroy relationships. And then you hear the right women in their heart saying, "No, make it right with that man." So then it says, she looks well to the ways of her household and does not eat the bread of idleness. She does not eat the bread of idleness. I'm trying to tell you the truth that so many of y'all women are like literally, you decide to sit in one place and in your idleness worry for hours. Do not eat the bread of idleness. Do something. Do something. Go. If you have nothing to do, there's somebody to love. There's somebody to go and give some wisdom and some kindness to. There's somebody to lead to Christ. There's somebody to take care of. There's somebody in your household that needs you. She does not eat the bread of idleness. And then so last scripture will be done today. Proverbs 31:20-31 says, her children rise up and bless her. Her husband also, and he praises her, saying, many daughters have done nobly, but you excel them all. Charm is deceitful and beauty is vain. But a woman who fears the Lord, she shall be praised. Give her the product of her hands and let her works praise her in the gates. And so it says charm is deceitful and beauty is vain. Some of y'all really don't understand that. Some of y'all think that you were trained your whole life to be charmful and to charm men. It's deceitful and it's wicked. Be you. And beauty is vain. Be you. Don't nobody care about all the makeup and the hair and all that stuff, bro. I want your heart. Want a man that wants your heart. But a woman who fears the Lord, she shall be praised. A woman who fears the Lord, she shall be praised. Some of y'all don't understand that you're not going to be set apart from other women in your life by putting on more makeup. You're not going to be set apart from women in your life from trying to learn how to have sex better. You're not going to be set apart from women in your life by anything in this world. Only the fear of the Lord sets a woman apart, and she is praised because of that. It says in this Bible that there's nothing to boast about, but that you know the Lord. There's nothing to boast about as a woman, but that you fear the Lord. Give her the product of her hands and let her works praise her in the gates. And so, obviously, like I said, she's a producer. She's a producer, and her works praise her in the gates. Like everything that she does, like she has no record. There's no record of people don't have records against her saying, "Oh, she was so angry, she was so jealous then, she was this, she was that." No, her record speaks for itself. Her record speaks for itself. And so, as women, you've met the Lord, and then it's time to be new. What are you going to do? Are you going to walk as a Proverbs 31 woman, and this righteous woman has been made new, and is this beautiful force in this world? Or are you going to stay in wickedness and adultery? It's very plain and simple for women. Like when I say it's plain and simple, I wish that he drew it out that simple for men in this Bible. What it looked like to be an adulterous man, and what it looked like to be the right type of a man for him, which I guess he did in so many words throughout the Bible, because we look at Adam, and then we look at people like David and Samuel and stuff like that. But I wish it was just one chapter. Women are blessed to have this. What's going to be? What is your life going to align with? Which one? And so that's the end of this talk, Meeting the Lord Part 3. You can text your prayer request to 317-891-4148. And you can text your prayer request there. We want to journey with you. And so you can text a prayer request, you can text a testimony, you can text a scripture, whatever you want to text us for us to get into communication and get going. We can read together, whatever you want to do. Just text us at 317-891-4148. And then lastly, tithe and offering. You are the buyer cross, a walking testimony to his good news. We encourage you to save 10% to support your ministry in this life. We also encourage you to give 10% because obviously he calls disciples to let go of money and let go of physical possessions. And it's through your giving and through your that they are able to keep their focus on Christ and give you a pure message. And so whether you give that here or give it to the next ministry, just make sure you give it to the ministry that's feeding you properly. And then lastly, we do give back. So what I do is I pull $3 within that Cash App to ensure that God's will continue through our ministry. The rest of the acquired money be divided equally and redistributed to those that gave. And so that Cash App is $ChristKingway. Okay. And so yes, this was part 3, meeting the Lord. Really good one for women. I don't have that many lessons are specifically addressed to women. So it's a good one for you. And if you're a woman and you read this and it resonated with you, make sure you share with another woman. They need to hear it. They need to hear it. And then people can't change. People can't understand who they are. People can't understand what they've done in their life until they actually hear it. And so pass it on. Give the word, the word of life. Okay. Have a great day. Have a great evening. We'll be back on tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. See you then.